Hi guys, I hope that you are doing well, and yes, I really hope that you remember me because it's been a while. And to be honest with you, there isn't really a particular reason why I've been away for so long. To be honest with you, like, I'm afraid to look at my latest video because I know it's been a while. I think it may have been April or May when I posted last. And to be quite frank with you, it's been life, and I really unfortunately detached from the channel and also from my spiritual practice. And one of the reasons why I'm back today is because I felt the urge to record from my channel because I miss it. You know, I miss you guys, I miss recording. I told myself that I would never abandon the channel no matter where the life takes me, right? But the second reason, and it's also a pretty important reason, is because I've been, a lot of you may know I have a technical job, you know, pretty logical job. I am a mom of a toddler, like, things are going on, you know, and there is, like, a lot of times the sense of detaching from spiritual practice, detaching from spirituality generally. And that's what I'm experiencing right now. You know, life is just busy. Life is busy with events that are very hectic. And because of that, if you hear this, you know, sound in the background, that's my cat. He's 12 years old, he has asthma, and a lot of you are familiar with him from my old videos back from my apartment. But he's alive and well, by the way. But yeah, so basically that's the reason, you know, why I really wanted to come back, because I feel like as if I can keep up with my channel as much as I can, right? I'm not promising anything. I'm not promising that I'm going to be back on here every week or every 2 weeks for every new moon and full moon and monthly readings. But I really want to be back whenever I can, because this is what helps me kind of continue my spiritual practice. And this is what helps me to kind of get back on track spiritually, believe it or not. And I have not really been that great keeping up with astrology either. Like, I know obviously the main events that are happening, you know, but I have not really been like precisely keeping up with it, again, because of life, you know, and I just want to start doing that again. You know, I have been, like I said, detached, yeah. And you know, I was like, okay, so what do I want to record, right? Because, like, I'm kind of here at the beginning of the month, you know, it's a little too late for August readings, a little too early for September readings. So I was like, okay, there is this really interesting new moon in Leo coming up, so I want to record a video about that. Why is it interesting to me specifically? I am 21 degrees Taurus sun, and this new moon is in Leo 23 degrees, okay? So it's going to be squaring my sun almost exact, okay? And like, it's also conjunct Lilith, which is kind of some, I don't know how I feel about this new moon. We'll obviously have to see what happens. It's really hard to predict, by the way, what exactly is going to happen, because it is squaring Uranus, and Uranus is the planet of unpredictability. But I am excited, you know, I am excited in some way, because I feel like Uranus on my sun has been treating me very well. I felt so isolated for, you know, many years, and now it gave me wings. And not everybody can say that with Uranus on their sun, but it's true. You know, if you have that transit coming up with Uranus on your sun, or maybe on your rising, right, I would not be afraid of it. I definitely would not be afraid of it. It's, if anything, like, the amount of ideas I have now, the amount of plans and goals, and just, it's amazing. But what was I gonna say? Okay, yeah, so I think that, you know, this new moon is pretty important to talk about. I would say that if you are about 21 to 25 degrees of the fixed signs, right, Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Leo, you are going to be feeling this stronger than other signs. And the signs that are going to benefit from this new moon are actually Sagittarius and Aries. However, you know, with like Uranus being there, again, a square to Uranus, and this new moon is conjunct Lilith, I would still be mindful, right, of all of these changes that are going to be occurring. I would still be careful, because there might be something, just something a little off. off about this new moon that will be uncovered probably later, not right away. However, could also be right away, again, because there is a square to Uranus. So I would like to just hop onto the reading, and we will start with Aries. Hi Aries, I hope that you are doing well. And we're gonna talk about your new moon happening in the 5th house, conjunct Lilith and squaring Uranus in the 2nd. So what could this bring you? I would say the worst, the absolute worst thing that could happen with this would be that you might find out that there is some kind of dishonest business going on with your finances, with your source of income. The company is shady, the employer is shady, or there is just something there that happens where you're like, all right, I cannot rely on this anymore. You know, there is something that has to be done. But by the way, this doesn't mean that something is just going to happen and you are immediately going to switch jobs, get fired, right? Or start your own business or something like that. It could take you 6 months to really understand what's happening there and to create a plan for yourself. This does not mean 100% that you're going to be leaving your current source of income. This can just mean that something there is unstable and you are actively working on fixing it. You're actively working on liberating yourself somehow from this particular position that is just not stable, that is not going in your favor. And honestly, with Leo in the 5th, you know, especially for Aries rising, I would say that this is going to be a pretty good opportunity to get creative with your source of income, you know, to maybe learn a skill and possibly to, I don't know, start working with children or start your own business that is creative in a way, start an online business, right? Uranus, though, is like, I'm gonna force you to do this, you know, I'm gonna force you because it's been a while and you have these skills and you have these opportunities, right? Why not use them? Why not finally use them now? Or at least in the next 6 months. So yeah, it could definitely push you in the direction of starting something new in regards to your income, but also figuring out how to do it legally. Lilith can really try and mess with your head, you know, like take out this big loan or go, I don't know, ask your friend for $20,000. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like it's, you're gonna build something over the next 6 months that is going to be established, that's going to be stable, that's going to be worth your time. But be aware that as of right now, it may look way too dramatic. As of right now, it may look like all or nothing. And that everybody's being shady and lying to you, especially when it comes to your finances. It's not necessarily the case, okay? It's just building you up, preparing you to step on a new stage and to really prove yourself financially somehow. So when it comes to, let's say if you have children, then yes, this transit could suggest that there may be an expense that comes when it comes to a child, and you may feel really suspicious almost. You know, it's like, the school is asking for this money, right? Last year we didn't pay this much. Like, what is this going to be actually used for? A child may also, you know, require for you to spend money on them. But I would say also, you know, for some people, considering that, you know, Leo is pretty playful and it does rule children, it's almost like for some of you that may be getting pregnant, right, conceiving around this time, it could be a little bit of a shock to your financial standing, to your financial system that you have organized in some way. It's like, oh, this money that I've saved up, you know, last year, this is not going to, I don't know, that trip to Italy, you know, it's going to the baby now. So it's kind of like that. It's pleasant. I know it's going to be pleasant, even though it may seem a little bit off-putting at first in terms of shock, right? In terms of shock and like not really understanding which direction to take, because Lilith can also mix up some things. Thank you so much for watching, Aries, and I will speak with you soon. Now we're moving on to Taurus. Hi Taurus, I hope that you are doing well. If you are 21 degrees or 22 or 23 degrees Taurus, you know, this is especially strong for you, but you could be any Taurus really, sun or rising especially, that could feel this new moon very strongly. Again, you know, I don't know how many times I'm gonna repeat this throughout this video, but if you are hearing weird sounds in the background, that is my old cat, okay, and he's on the chair right next to me. So yeah, I feel like it might be a little loud if you're especially listening to this video in headphones, so just putting it out there. So the new moon is happening in the 4th house, conjunct Lilith, and it is squaring your 1st house. There could be this urge to suddenly buy a home, to suddenly move. I'll be honest with you, this is very similar to my situation, even though I'm a Taurus sun. So it's resonating, but not like 100%, you know. We just spontaneously booked kind of a long-term trip to a different state because we are looking at like houses and stuff, you know, but we are not exactly sure when we're going to move there. Thank God we're not trying to buy a house, right? Because like still there is some holding on there, you know, but we just booked a spontaneous trip because, you know, me and my husband, we both work from home. So it's like, for us, it doesn't really matter where to work from. And we basically are just going to look around and hopefully, you know, make up our mind whether or not we actually want to purchase property in that town, in that state. So it's kind of like, you know, ooh, like you lived your life, now suddenly you just got this urge to look at this place and potentially figure out how much it costs and whether or not you can buy it, whether or not you can build it, you know, whether or not you can rent it out. There is some sort of urge happening here, but don't deceive yourself. This urge should be temporary, because if you kind of lash out now, if you rush into something huge, right, especially when it comes to spending money, you could regret it later because you could end up with basically zero. You would have to kind of build yourself back up again. And it requires, I want to say, requires a stronger plan, you know, requires a little bit more time to actually figure things out and to achieve the outcome that you want. There could also be this possibly conflict between you and family members. You know, you may feel really misunderstood by them. You know, you may feel, especially with Lilith currently being in your 4th house, you could feel like these people are, you know, talking behind your back, that your parents don't love you, that your husband or your child doesn't love you, that, you know, they would probably be happier without you, or that they're dishonest with you. You know, there could be those emotions coming up, especially around this new moon, but it's just Lilith, okay, and it's her tricks. So I wouldn't be too focused on those, you know, voices in your head. Just trust your family, talk to them, have that communication. You know, it is important here. But you could feel possibly that, you know, there is some kind of a new beginning around family or real estate, but it's like either your urge or because there's a conflict where, again, you could be thinking way worse things than they actually are. You know, a conflict with your realtor, I don't know, a conflict with your family, your people that live with you under the same roof, where it's like, oh, okay, you know, I'm gonna do this now, and it's because you forced me. You know, that could be kind of the emotion experience there. However, you know, again, an urge to move all of a sudden, move homes, move states, move countries, and so on. You know, everybody's situation is different, especially for Taurus rising. There could also just be kind of chaos happening at home because of how you choose to conduct yourself in a way, you know. Hold your horses around this time, okay? Uranus in the 1st, squaring Lilith, squaring this new moon. Just be mindful of what you say, you know, just be careful, and don't make rash decisions when it comes to your family. That's all I gotta say, okay? What else? There is just this new environment, like a new job. There could be a new job, okay, that is possibly from home, and it could be maybe something technical or something that, you know, requires information exchange, requires for you to work from home, online, right? It's something that maybe is a little bit out of the ordinary for you, and this is an adjustment period. Simply, you know, you're just gonna be adjusting to this new routine. But you will probably be spending a lot of time at home or maybe like working from home in some kind of a environment that is different, but it's still somehow connected to your home, if that makes sense. So thank you guys so much for watching. Now we're moving on to Gemini. Hi Gemini, I hope that you are doing well. Long time no see. So your new moon is happening in the 3rd house, and it's conjunct Lilith, right? And it's squaring Uranus in the 12th. So this one is also pretty interesting. These are like the mind games and the emotional games that someone either could be playing on you or you could be playing on yourself, okay? Be mindful around this time. Something may come up, okay, and you may really misunderstand it. Like, it's like information about someone that's coming up and you really twist it around, really misunderstand it, and may possibly cause a conflict. So this is kind of a big deal here, because it's like Lilith, you know, being in your 3rd house, it's like it whispers all of these negative things to you about your friends, that your friends hate you and that they talk behind your back, you know, or that, I don't know, people hate you at work, your team sucks, and, you know, they think you suck, and so on. And that your mind is kind of darker around this time. You know, you may be feeling more negative, you may be thinking more negative about life, about your goals. You know, please don't get that twisted, because it's just Lilith games, okay? With, however, a square to Uranus in the 12th, there could be some fears that may come up out of the blue. And these fears are regarding your job, or regarding the people that are around you, regarding your family as well, or regarding just really your routine, your life, you know, your day-to-day stuff. I would be also careful about purchasing any vehicles around this time, because there could be the impulsiveness. Remember, Mercury is also gonna go retrograde soon. I would not be buying any vehicles around this time, okay? If anything, I'd be very careful with the vehicle that you do have. Because with Uranus in the 12th, you know, squaring the 3rd house, there may be some unexpected things that come up. For example, they sold the car to you at the dealership, I don't know, 6 months ago, and everything seemed fine, but now some sort of underlying issue may come up that you had no idea about. And this car was sold to you this way. It's been there for a while and you just now find out about this issue, right? So it's kind of like that. However, what this can bring a long distance or short distance trip that happens very unexpectedly. Again, this could be all of a sudden you just booking tickets and, you know, jumping on the plane and so on. I would not jump on the plane if you can avoid it, you know, right on that day, on the 16th. But I would probably be also open-minded to go on a trip, whether it's long distance trip or short distance trip, because I feel like this new moon wants to prepare you for some kind of an exciting adventure. But that adventure is, it's like you have to go somewhere for it. You know what I mean? You can't just stay at your home. You have to meet it somewhere. It's either a new acquaintance or just a trip. But yes, I think it is exciting, okay, but it may kind of make you feel like you want to rush into it, or make you feel a lot more dramatic about it than you should be. It could also be a job in tech that you could get with this particular new moon, a job that requires a lot of communication, a job that's connected to computers and different devices and marketing and writing and so on. Okay, and this is like a moment where you have to adapt, you know, this is just like a moment where you have to really adjust to this new environment around you. It may take 6 months actually, but I don't think, for Geminis, I don't think it'll take that long. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading, and now I'm moving on to Cancer. Hi Cancer, I hope that you are doing well. Long time no see. So this new moon is in the 2nd house, conjunct Lilith, and it's squaring Uranus in the 11th house. Tricky in what way, I think? I think it's don't loan money to friends around this time, okay? Because you may potentially even ruin a friendship with someone, because you may be overthinking about them. That's what Lilith can do to you. Okay, you may be overthinking that they are in some way dishonest with you and deceiving you, okay? But it may not actually be the case here. However, at the same time, you know, if someone on that day asks you to loan them money, especially if it's someone from your community, if it's someone from like a group of friends, you know, someone that you know, I would wait it out just a little bit, because Lilith there can create those like almost fake conflicts, you know, something that normally on a normal day would not even be significant, okay? During this new moon, this can be a conflict blown out of proportion for no reason. It could, unfortunately, also indicate that, you know, your team of people, your community is like pushing you towards creating some sort of a new source of income, kind of defending yourself financially, and possibly it's like the situation at your work environment may push you to be like, all right, I need to create a source of income that's not reliant on these people. Like, that's not reliant on this community. Like, I need to create a source of income that is only going to be solely for myself, and it's something that, you know, is going to make me feel good about myself, Leo, right? Make me feel like I have creativity shining, make me feel like I can come up with all these different things, you know. It could be that, you know, honestly, you may start creating some sort of work for the community. Yes, you know, it could be a thing. Like, for example, you may start a YouTube channel, you may start an Instagram, you know, you may start an online shop, but it's done in a way that's like pushing you, kind of, you know. It's like, I wasn't ready, you know, but here I am already falling off the cliff into this new beginning where, you know, you might just be figuring out how to do things that way for the next 6 months, but it'll be good, okay? Just don't allow Lilith to, in your second house of money, to overspend, to be too crazy with your money in a way that, like, let me take out this huge loan, especially on the day of the new moon. Don't, please. Or like, let me ask my friend for this much money. You know, gotta be more subtle with it, more careful. Figure out the ways. Leo and new moon, there are always all these exciting creative ideas that come in, and they always make the person kind of shine. And I think you will come up with the right ideas as long as you just kind of wait it out a little bit and go with the flow, right? Uranus here in the 11th house, it's like you wanna be more important. You want to be important to a community, not just to yourself, not just to your boss or to your mom, right? You want to be like valuable to a community. Here, jump off the cliff. Not literally, but go start this thing. Sometimes it happens in ways where we feel like we're not prepared, you know, so it could be the case for you. Maybe it won't be the case for you. We'll see, but I'm excited for you, actually. I think that, you know, new moons in the second house are always like these gifts or these new sources of income, these payouts, right? And it could actually come from the community, from some sort of like a payout could come to you that you didn't even expect, you know, in the best way possible. This can play out that way. But I hope that you enjoy this reading, Cancer, and I will talk to you later. Now moving on to Leo. Leo, hi. I hope that you're doing well. I am a Leo moon. So this new moon is happening in your first house. Lilith is also in your first house. And this whole combo is squaring Uranus in your 10th house. So if you are between 21 and 25 degrees Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, you'll feel this the strongest, but it'll also be like a louder, more vibrant, more important new beginning for you than for other Leos, okay? Because this is where you are really getting out of your comfort zone and becoming that Leo that is like a archetypical, you know what I'm trying to say, this kind of Leo, creative, ambitious, you know, full of ideas, full of spark. You're gonna take up the stage, and I think it's gonna happen in a good way. I don't think that it's going to happen in a way where you almost feel embarrassed. You know, I think it's gonna be earned, you know, with hard work, with a lot of effort. You're gonna feel confident, you're going to feel good about yourself, but there is a twist here. There is Uranus in your 10th house, so it's like come on, jump, right? Jump, get on the stage, even if you are not ready. It's like, maybe you're listening to me right now and it's like, yeah, I'm kind of gathering these ideas, you know, and there's something that I want to do in a year from now, something I want to do in 5 years from now, something I want to do maybe next month. A lot of those things could be in your head that you're not quite ready for them, but you want to do those things. Well, with this particular new moon, the time could come way faster than you think for those things. And yes, it may require a period of adaptation, right? You need to kind of adapt to this new beginning. You need to figure out your next steps. But I think it's going to be so worth it, because Uranus is just like in your 10th house, you know, I'm willing to give you whatever you need, but be brave about it and just take charge, right? Go with the flow. Yes, Uranus is in a fixed sign. You are a fixed sign, and the more cardinal and mutable energy you have in your chart, the better you're going to handle it. But I feel like Uranus here is trying to reward you with a job that I think maybe pays you well, and the job that allows you to actually shine and maybe be different, okay? But you might just be hesitating for now. There will be time that you still, even after this new moon, will continue hesitating, but I think the circumstances will play out in a way where you are going to get on the stage. Here's another thing though with Uranus in the 10th house. It's not just a job, it's your identity. You know, you could be changing your identity. You could be changing your name, changing your last name, changing something about you that can be shocking, right? But at the same time, to others, right? But at the same time, it's like, it's for you. Like, you want this. You have been wanting this, but you couldn't find the right opportunity. This new moon can actually help you, you know, find that right moment, that right opportunity. What I don't like about this new moon is that Lilith is in your 1st house, and those are tendencies to feel really insecure, you know, really insecure about what you're doing, and maybe tendencies to also sometimes do something kind of illegally, okay? Not saying it's your case directly, I'm just saying that with Lilith, when it's making aspects, it's a lot of times like something kind of shady behind the scenes, illegal, okay? If something is a little bit shady but gives you the results faster, please don't do it, whatever that might be, because Lilith is, you know, Lilith is only active when it makes aspects. Really, I would not say that it's like a threat usually, but only when it makes aspects, and this time it does. And I feel like you should be really aware of what your mind is telling you, you know, any insecurities, any fears that may be coming up. You could feel like maybe others don't like you, you know, that there is something that they are planning against you. This is just Lilith, okay? Go with the flow, do the right thing. Lilith can sometimes exaggerate as well. So while you want to start this new beginning, be mindful that you gotta take one step at a time as well, right? Let's not be overly optimistic, right? Let's be realistic about the results, because Lilith can work different ways. But I think that overall it's your time to shine, and it may happen in an unexpected way, but you will thank this new moon later, because when you couldn't find the courage to do it yourself, this new moon will help you, will build up that courage, or will just throw you in the pool where you're going to be like, all right, I need to adapt. I need to quickly adapt to these new changes. And once you do adapt, you will be very grateful. So yeah, thank you so much for listening, and I will see you guys in my next video. Now moving on to Virgo. Hi Virgo, I hope that you are doing well. So your new moon is happening in your 12th house, and it's also conjunct Lilith there. And it's squaring Uranus in the 9th. So, you know, I feel like this could possibly lead you to some kind of a long-term, long-distance trip. I don't know, you know, but this may be the start of it. It's like you're gonna start preparing the documents there. You're going to start kind of figuring out how you can get a visa, right? How you can maybe how you can speed up your passport process or something. There could also be an invitation that suddenly comes from a different country. You are not even planning to go there yet, but the new moon happens, the invitation comes, and you're like, all right, I guess I'm going. You know, it's kind of like that. Sometimes for a good reason you might be going abroad, sometimes for a not the most maybe easygoing influence that you could be going there for. You know, sometimes maybe a person there really needs you, needs your help, and that's why you might be going. But again, not trying to like scare anyone or anything like that, just saying that there could be a trip abroad, for example, or just like a long distance trip, planned or unplanned. But there is like this, you know, focus on it, like wanting to speed it up, really wanting to speed it up, and maybe dealing with a lot of paperwork because of it, you know, possibly dealing with immigration and so on. I could say though, for those of you that are waiting on the immigration process, things could start speeding up around this time, like definitely could be speeding up. I would encourage to be very honest with authorities and with whoever else, because Lilith is in the 12th house. Lilith loves to lie. And in the 12th, you know, 12th house is also like Pisces house, you know, deceit, lots of deceit. There could just be some deceiving thoughts, you know, regarding a certain person, maybe regarding something that you are hiding from others. It's like, should I tell them, should I not? You know, if there is a secret that you have and you would prefer to keep it a secret, please just be mindful that not to tell it to any wrong people, you know, if you want to keep something private still after this new moon. I would say that another way how this can play out is something regarding spiritual practices, regarding spiritual growth. There is like a spark that happens here, and that can lead you to start exploring spiritually a lot more than maybe you used to. I don't know if it's like a thing because I'm married to this person, or maybe because he just got on that level himself, but my husband, you know, he used to not be spiritual, religious, or any of that, but now, you know, he is exploring spirituality, he's exploring paganism. It's maybe because I've been in it for a while, I don't know, but, you know, I thought that that was pretty interesting, considering, like, you know, having Uranus in the 9th house, whether you want it or not, it's gonna bring all these different experiences to you that you kind of having a hard time explaining for yourself, but you start believing in more than what we have on this earth. And this is why I think this could be a good time when you maybe start studying, you know, studying a certain philosophy, certain spiritual practice, right? And it could also be, like I said, a time where you may find out that you are going abroad. So very, very interesting. Thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you later. Hi Libra, I hope that you are doing well. Long time no see. So your new moon is happening in the 11th house. It's conjunct Lilith, okay? And it's also squaring Uranus in the 8th. So these two, one of them, just one of the cases how this can play out, you may find out something about your community. And this could be a good situation, or this could be kind of a not such a good situation, mostly for the community, not for you. Because once you find out something here, you're like, all right, I'm out, because I don't need this anymore, I don't need this drama, I don't need this shadiness, you know, I'm out. However, this could also, and you know, that's how you build up your steps and find a new community, the right community for yourself. So it's like something can be kind of exposed about a community that you belong to, for example, a church that you belong to, work community that you belong to, right, and so on. This could also, however, be that something possibly happens that changes your mindset, that changes your almost like your spiritual state, in a way where you might somehow join a community of like-minded people, or maybe find a community that can really help you now. You know, 8th house is, I always imagine like therapists with the 8th house, you know. Yes, you know, this can also be like spiritual gurus and things like that in the 8th, but I also a lot of times just see psychology there, you know, and it's like with that, you know, a person kind of finds a way out and finds their group, finds their tribe. I don't know, it cringes me out to say tribe, but you know, like a community of people that they can kind of belong to and really understand. They can be really understood. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say here. However, you know, there's also Lilith in the 11th house, and that can make you feel like you're not so welcomed in this community, that you are being judged for your emotional mental issues or for your fears, right? Like you could be afraid that like you're not quite seen for who you are. And it can be any kind of community, okay? It can really be, my cat is snoring in the chair right next to me. He's fine. And, you know, I know that there are some weird background sounds, especially if you're listening to this video in headphones, but just wanted to say that's my cat. So, yeah, there are, you know, these fears that could be coming up, like, are they talking about me? You know, I'm a little insecure, like, will this project actually be accepted and approved and appreciated? You know, there's a lot here going on that it could kind of screw with you mentally, but please don't listen to Lilith. It's just Lilith talking, you know. It gets activated when it makes an aspect, really. But I would say that right now here, it's about you finding a community where you belong, finding a community where you feel at ease and where you can be yourself, right? Leo new moon. I would say also, you know, because of how this is with the 8th house and Uranus and everything, like I said, you know, there may be one community that you might be saying goodbye to, and there may be like a new community that you're joining because they are just better for you, right? They're not as shady, they are actually honest, and they're welcoming, and so on. But this could also be you realizing that a certain source of income is no longer working for you. For example, if you were relying on someone for income, you may realize that that source is no longer working, so you may actually start something of your own, maybe an online career, maybe you're gonna start, I don't know, like a social media, yeah, like a social media career. There could be a lot here revolving around finances that you no longer have access to. And it's like, all right, so now it's the time. Now is the time to shine, to show myself, maybe in front of audience, in front of other people, in front of a community. I think I can do it. You know, with this new moon, even if you're thrown in the pool, you will figure out what to do. You will. And I think you're gonna love it. And at first, again, there are fears, Lilith, but you will grow to understand exactly what's required from you to make the right steps and to be successful. And with the new moon in the 11th house, the audience is paying attention. There are people that are very interested in what you have to sell, are very interested in what you have to offer. So just know that they're waiting, okay, whenever you are ready. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, dear Libra, and I will talk to you later. Now we're moving on to Scorpio. Hi Scorpio, my dear fellow fixed sign. So this new moon is happening in your 10th house. Lilith is also in your 10th house, okay? And this whole shebang is squaring Uranus in the 7th. So, okay, so what can I say here? I don't even know where to start, you know, 10th, 7th house. You are uncovering a new identity here in the next 6 months. You're uncovering it in a way that's a little bit out of your element. You know, if you prefer to kind of be in the shadow a little bit more, or if you prefer to not be so loud and like on the stage, you know, it'll be the time when you are going to be kind of on the stage, and people are the ones that are going to push you on that stage, you know, your partner, your co-workers, your audience, for example. You know, if you are, for example, I don't know, creating content, right? There is some sort of like push to the stage, and you know, this by the stage I mean, you know, there is a certain environment in your life where you have to shine, whether it's work or maybe personal life, your community, right? Or maybe it's regarding your identity. It's like you're figuring out who you are, and doesn't matter how old you are. You know, I'm talking to especially Scorpio risings right now. It does not matter if you are 20 years old right now, if you're 50 years old right now. This new moon in Leo squaring Uranus is like, you are a new person. You need to accept it and you need to work with it. It's like build your new identity because you've outlived all the old. You're no longer that person. You know, there are newer people around you, possibly. There are, you know, certain patterns, and especially, you know, with the South Node that was in Scorpio, you know, a lot of old patterns were kind of let go of. You are a new person, but it's time to accept it. And it's time to start living as a new person. You know, that's what I think it is. You could change jobs around this time. Yes, you know, with Uranus in the 7th, a coworker can really throw something unexpected and you're like, all right, I'm out. You know, I don't want to be in this workplace anymore. Your partner also, you know, sometimes with Uranus in the 7th, a new moon in the 10th, it's like a person, for example, is leaving the partnership behind. They're getting divorced, for example, right? And they are starting life on their own in a new status, right? A lot of times 10th house changes are status changes, last name changes. But there's something that pushes you there. You know what I mean? It's not like, I'm ready, so I'm going to do it. Musik, stop. Sorry, my cat. You know, I'm ready, let's just do it. No, it's like, I was not ready for this, but I guess now that we're here, you know, I have to do it. That's the difference. Watch out for Lilith in the 10th house. There can be fears around your status. There can be fears around your identity. Is this really what I should be doing right now? Is this the job that I need? Is this the next step that I should take? Is this the kind of partner that I should be with? Should I be this way for myself, my partner, my parents, my work, and so on? There are a lot of doubts here, okay? So just watch for that. It's just Lilith. It's not something that is going to hunt you down for a while, okay? Lilith usually is just active when it makes an aspect. So it's pretty active on this new moon, and yes, it will give you those doubts regarding your career, regarding those big steps, you know, regarding those big achievements. Don't jump into it, right? Wait for Uranus to kind of push you, but don't jump into it like full force, you know, because still you've got 6 months ahead of you. You'll figure things out, you know, slowly but surely. You'll figure this out and you will adapt to that new environment. I believe in you. But I hope that you found this helpful, and I will talk to you later. So, hi Sagittarius, I hope that you are doing well. So your new moon is happening in the 9th house. There's also Lilith there, okay? And they are conjunct. And new moon squares Uranus in the 6th house. So, you know, for some Sagittarius people, like as soon as I kind of saw this dynamic, I thought, well, maybe they are going to start taking care of their health, but not necessarily in a traditional way where they're going to doctors, getting these blood tests done, and so on and so forth. They're going to be like, all right, what can I do to help my mental state that's not, you know, pill popping, going to therapy, spending tons of money. How can I change my life that I can start feeling better from the inside, right? 9th house is like changing your views, changing your philosophies, your spiritual views, and so on. There's like a lot of work here, a lot of work happening here. And, you know, with Uranus in the 6th, it's like your body, your immune system, just like your health overall can kind of give you that kickstart, you know, can give you a message that it's time to start taking care of that aspect of your life, you know, and not possibly neglect it or put it on the back burner. I'm not saying that like a health issue will come up, but it could be that it's like, all right, something needs to be done here. And if it's not health, it's like something in your schedule, something in your life that kind of explodes almost in a way that's like, all right, no more. You know, I need to do this instead. I cannot be wasting time at the computer, I don't know, playing video games at night. I need to start doing this instead. I need to start reading, for example. I need to start studying. I need to learn a skill. That's how it could be. It's like, enough of this old stuff. You know, I'm starting something new. The only thing is Lilith is there in the 9th house, and it can kind of deceive you in a way. It's like, should I not? Well, you know, with Lilith also, if you are studying a spiritual practice, it can kind of force you to dive really deep into it in a way that's fanatical, okay? So please, like, be careful about that. I don't think that this is what's gonna happen in the next 6 months, but it's like exaggeration, and it's like, it's not like maybe as obsessive as like Pluto would be, for example, but it's sort of like, I don't know, it's sort of like, you know, how can I use it to my full ability? And it's like very passionate and almost sometimes in a negative way for other people or for yourself, like a little bit of harming effect. So just study your religions, you know, take a course, change something about your routine, go abroad, you know, for a vacation. Don't spend all of your money, right? Don't like go too deep into it. Just like give yourself time, you know. Once Lilith is no longer activated, you'll just be feeling normal and refreshed, and you know, you will be feeling like you're on the right path. It could be also that Lilith gives you doubts, you know, like, am I on the right path? Why should I be doing this? You know, couldn't I just live how I used to before? But no, Uranus will make sure that you live in a new way now. It's a good time to figure out what skills you need. Possibly if you want to expand somehow, excel in your work, right? If you want to kind of continue growing, it's a good time to actually pick up that course, you know, that qualification, and so on. Yeah. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this reading, and I will talk to you later. Now moving on to Capricorn. Hi Capricorn. If you hear this, this is my cat. He's 12 years old with asthma. You may have seen him in my old videos, you know. He's doing well, but he's pretty loud, so that's what you're hearing in the background, okay? Pretty interesting sounds, especially if you're listening with headphones on, but this is just a cat. Okay, so your new moon is happening in the 8th house. There's also Lilith there, and this whole combo is squaring Uranus in the 5th. So 8th and 5th houses are involved here. You know, I feel like, ooh, this could get really deep for you guys. This could, even though like Leo directly does not influence you, but this can definitely be a very deep, like a very emotional time that is connected to intimacy and sexuality and closeness with people. So for example, if you have a partner or if you don't, it's about like almost evaluating what is it that you need to feel fulfilled, and what is it that you need to feel closeness with another person. There can be a conflict that may arise between you and your partner, where maybe they could potentially, you know, surprise you somehow. Could potentially get you out of your comfort zone, where you understand that, okay, it's time to really work on myself. It's time to really open up. It's time to maybe not be so cold to this person and really just trust. And, you know, with Lilith in the 8th house, it can be dangerous in a way that you may start really fearing intimacy. You may start really feeling all kinds of psychological stuff, you know, getting twisted in your mind. It's like, no, you know, I can't trust this person is cheating on me, or this person wants to use me, you know, or I should use this person before they use me. Don't listen to that stuff, you know, especially if you're getting to know someone, you can tell that they're genuine towards you. I think this is honestly a good place to start here, you know. Don't dive full deep, you know, with your head deep into this. Just take your time, you know. You will have that time to really build closeness with someone here. And yes, it can come to you as a surprise. The person that you might be dealing with may surprise you around this time, okay? They may do something that's out of the ordinary and something that you never even imagined that they would do before, and they will be expecting a reaction from you. And that's up to you how to react. But I feel like with this new moon in the 8th house, I feel like you're supposed to work through your psychological issues. You know, you're supposed to, and you are supposed to kind of start fresh, start new. Experience more joy rather than darkness when it comes to closeness with others. Not to see closeness as something negative, as something shameful. I think that's what maybe one of the themes here might be. However, on the negative side of it, musik, on the negative side of it, this could be that whoever that person is, right, from your 5th house, that might kind of pull something crazy. It might actually be that you will realize that you deserve better, you deserve more, and the closeness that you are going to share, you're gonna share with someone that actually earned it, someone that actually deserves it. So it can go either direction, okay? There can be someone that appears in your life and you will realize that this is the person that you want to build closeness with. Or there may be someone that appears in your life or is already in your life that will push you away completely this time. It can go either direction. Now, it can also be that you may suddenly take out a loan for something, you know, for a child, for example, or for like a hobby of yours, a trip, unexpected trip, or maybe to learn a new skill, or maybe to start an online business, an online store. You know, there is something here that may happen very unexpectedly. I would also be kind of mindful regarding how much you want to take. You know, Lilith here can really want you to take a huge loan. You should not, okay? Lilith is tricky. It can also, you know, be that you will want to like ask someone for money. Also, you know, be very mindful of all those things. But yes, the main thing that I'm trying to say here is, yes, there may be something that you will kind of figure out a way to pay for, and this something is going to bring you to new horizons, to something exciting, something that maybe you've been wanting to do before, but maybe you weren't approved for it, like the bank could not approve your loan or something like that. And now, this time around, unexpectedly, it could happen. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you later. Now we're moving on to Aquarius. Hi Aquarius, I hope that you are doing well. Long time no see. So your new moon is happening in the 7th house. There's also Lilith there, and it's squaring Uranus in the 4th. So 7th and 4th houses. Things can get complex with people. The closer they are to you, the more complex things can get with them. Okay, there is possibly something happening in your environment, in your private life, that no longer becomes so private. There's an issue that has been kind of under, you know, under the, was like behind the scenes, you know, at home, that will suddenly pop up to the surface and everybody will have to face it. You know, whether it's someone that you're in a relationship with, or someone that lives with you, or maybe just you, but you will have to face a situation that's been kind of hidden. And this is regarding the connection with someone. This is regarding, you know, the new beginnings, like new level. Like, what do you want to do? Do you want to stay? Do you want to go? Do you want to get married? Or do you want to, you know, just live, I don't know, separate, right? Do you want to have children or not? It's like this kind of conversation may come up. It's like, do you want to be here or not? Keep in mind that this could be someone that asks this question to you, okay? And this is the time to decide what you really want to do. Keep in mind that Lilith is in your 7th house. Lilith is shady, and when it's activated, it's pretty annoying to deal with, because Lilith suggests that, well, you know, this person does not care for you, this person doesn't love you. Like, these are the thoughts that you could be experiencing with Lilith there. You know, they don't care for you, they are trying to use you, maybe you should try using them before they use you, you know, that kind of stuff. So be mindful of these conversations that may possibly be going in your head throughout that time, because yes, anything is possible with Lilith. Overall, I think this is a new beginning, possibly between you and someone else, okay? And it comes from a little bit of tension, comes from a little bit of conflict that arises, and it's like, this conversation needed to be had months ago, right? Do you want to be together or not? Do you want to build a family or not? Do you want to commit or not? And so on. You could be asking those things, you could be asked those things. This could also be the case where possibly you're dealing with something legal, okay? Some legalities are going on here. And finally, something happens, for example, immigration, you know, 4th house, 7th house, could very well be like green cards, citizenships, and so on. Something suddenly just happens where things move forward. It's a new beginning, it's a new moon. Things are speeding up, things are moving forward. Maybe you expected this to be resolved sometime 6 months from now, but it's getting resolved now in August, you know, and it could be a little bit shocking to you, but here you are running around preparing paperwork, talking to the lawyer, you know, like getting ready to go to an interview and so on. So I think regardless, this is going to be a pretty important new beginning that will not just impact you, but also someone else. The closer they are to you, the more they're going to be impacted by this. And overall, this is about to have fun in the long run, but to do the necessary work and to adjust, to adapt right now, okay? But I hope that this was helpful, dear Aquarius, and I will see you in my next video. Now we're moving on to Pisces. Hi Pisces, I hope that you are doing well, and if you can hear very interesting sounds in the background, this is my 12-year-old cat, okay? And he is kind of snoring, he has asthma, so if you hear anything weird, this is just the cat in the background. So, your new moon is happening in the 6th house. Lilith is also traveling through your 6th house. And this whole combo is squaring Uranus in the 3rd. So I'm interested to see how this one plays out because I am a Pisces rising. I think that I'm a little nervous about this one because like I've been dealing with my health a lot, you know, I've gone to dermatologist, I've been doing all kinds of like blood work, and you know, I'm really trying to make sure that I'm okay, make sure that I'm healthy. And I feel like, you know, this comes with like motherhood, you know, when you're a mom, you're constantly worried about yourself, about your health, because, you know, you want to be healthy for your child, you want to live longer. And I've been, honestly, like, I've been fearful, you know, like, what if the biopsy results come back and like something bad is there? I've been dealing with that. So this right here, you know, this is a new moon. So there is some kind of a new beginning in the health sector. And with the square to Uranus, it can be that something, you know, needed to be done at some point before, and now you receive this unexpected information that, all right, so this is a little late, now let's, how about pick up this treatment, or now go to this doctor, you know, start over, kind of get this to be at a state where it needs to be, whether it's your health, your routine, right, and so on. So it can be a little bit tricky, but at the same time, Lilith is in the 6th house, which is provoking those fears. This is why it's so tricky, because it's like, is something kind of bad going to actually happen with my health? Or is it something that I'm gonna think, right? Is it something that's I'm gonna be afraid about? Because of Lilith, because Lilith triggers fears wherever it's traveling, that's where it's triggering fears, and in our case it's our house of health. So yes, there could be some fears surrounding your health, some paranoia, you know, and things like that. However, what I think this is that you're going to be fearful enough in a way that you're going to be like, all right, let's say I now know that I don't have any health issues, or I now know that I do have health issues, for example, right? Especially if you're doing any kind of treatment, especially if you're Pisces rising. You will know exactly what to do in the future to avoid these same mistakes, to avoid getting caught up in this. You know what I mean? Like, for example, I don't know, if I see like a weird spot, right, I will probably go to a dermatologist right away instead of waiting for years to go. Kind of just, you know, giving an example. This could also just be, you know, possibly something regarding work where you're definitely getting out of your comfort zone. You know, it's a new project. It's a project that is like, okay, it's very interesting. It's something that I've never done before. It's something that I could monetize on, right? Something that could bring me some kind of a bonus, whether it's financial or maybe regarding your skills. But at the same time, it's like, how am I going to apply it to my work? How am I going to make sure that I can maintain this and this and this, right? There is a little bit of that out of your comfort zone kind of feeling with this new moon. But with Lilith also, Lilith also, it's like, can I actually do it? You know, I'm not very confident about myself. I'm not confident about my knowledge. I'm not confident about my mind, like how I can retain information. You know, I'm not confident I can pass this exam, or I'm not confident I can learn this skill. I'm not confident that, you know, my team wants to work with me. They probably think I can do it, and so on. These are the doubts that Lilith can create around this new moon. However, I think that whether it's, you know, a new routine to help yourself in the long run, or it's a new project that you may be doing for work, or maybe even not for work, maybe it's just like wellness and fitness and stuff, you know, it's something that will require some adjustment, but it will be so good for you, especially in the next 6 months. You'll feel it. You'll be like, I'm so glad that this is what I started 6 months ago, because it improved. You know, it improved my life, it improved my schedule, it made me healthier, right? Or whatever that might be. I would say, what else could I say here? You know, it's about like working your body, but also now working your mind. So for example, if you've been working your body a lot, like for me, for example, I try to work out 5 times a week now. It's usually weightlifting. So strength training, right? But it's like, okay, so what else can I do to help myself? I'm working out my physical body, but what can I do for my mental health, right? What can I do for my emotional health? So again, you could start taking care of that. You know, you could maybe try to like meditate or something, and your mind will be giving you ideas. Okay, Uranus in the third, it's like such an active mind, and you know, it can help you figure out what exactly your emotional state, your mental state want to help them, you know, feel better. So this could be different trainings, you know, different meditations, different exercises, you know, for your like psychological, you know, could be as well, to improve your state overall, you know, your health overall. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.